Over here this evening. I'm Paul Grover. I'm one of the owners of Robert Paul Properties, and I'll tell you one of the things that I'm most proud of is the agents who work at our company, and it's for a number of reasons, but one of the reasons is just how passionate they are about this business and about learning and being informed and being the best that they can be for their clients, whether they're buyers or sellers. And one of the things that's changed over the years in this business is that the consumer is very well informed. In some cases, they may even be more well informed than we are about a particular street or neighborhood or town or a zoning board or a conservation commission in a town. So we have to stay a step ahead. We have to have the answers for the people. We have to be able to point them in the right direction to get answers. And so we assembled quite a bit of a team of top professionals on the Cape in the areas that correlate with the real estate business, and many of those people are here tonight. You'll hear from them. So I want to welcome everybody, and thank you very much for being here.
We're going to start the proceedings out with Sean Riley, who is the Civil Division Manager for Coastal Engineering, and just a real hot topic, as everyone understands, and he will be fielding your questions after speaking to you. Sean.
Thank you. For all of you that don't know me, Sean Riley. I'm with a professional engineer and associate with Coastal Engineering. Coastal's been around since 1976. The main office is in Orleans. We just opened up a branch office last year in Sandwich. We're looking to expand down to this end of the Cape, and hopefully making this presentation with you will bond some relationships. So Coastal Engineering is a full-service civil, structural, marine engineering and permitting firm. We work closely with our clients to get them what they want, to make them understand what they can get on the property. We work with realtors for buying and selling properties, to advise them and their clients as to what they can do with feasibility studies. One of the big items that we're all dealing with right now on Cape is the adoption of the new maps in 2014 and what people can do in the flood zones. I've done some presentations all over Massachusetts for the flood zones with insurance companies, realtors. We did the Association of Realtors in Falmouth a year and a half ago. So you really could spend a whole day on this topic discussing the different aspects of it. But as far as realtors and homeowners are concerned, I'll let you guys ask the questions, specific questions about what you have for concerns. We have over 30 engineers, or 30 staff. We've got 8 professional engineers to help you out with any of the questions and concerns. Again, the biggest thing for us is being responsive in our business and building relationships and keeping our clients happy and getting them what they want. So quickly, I'll just give you a quick overview of flood zones and how we work with realtors, builders, scientists to develop a team approach to getting projects approved. We've worked with Paul Silver, who's here today, Peter's here, to really bring together a team approach to understanding what you can do on a project. You bring in all the specialists, they understand what you can get, they explain right up front what you can get on a project, so you know where you're going at the beginning of the project. You can anticipate what you're going to get through the approval process, through the whole gamut of permitting before you even start. So you're not spinning your wheels when you get to that position. As far as realtors, how many realtors do we have and how many realtors in the room? Raise your hands. Realtors? Okay, so dealing with real estate on Cape Cod, I'm sure you've all run into the issue of buyers wondering what a flood zone is, what they can do in a flood zone, how's that going to impact me, what's it going to do for my insurance, and the first step is the elevation certificate. The first thing you should be advising your clients, buyers or sellers, is to get an elevation certificate. That is the start of the process. Having that in hand, you can get with your insurance companies, get a quote ready, have that information right up front. You can lose a sale in a matter of days if you don't have that information. for your potential buyers. For your sellers, it's good because they'll have that information. If you have a mortgage, you're going to be required to have flood insurance if you're in a flood zone. So that's one of the first things. The second thing is, what can I do in a flood zone? What can I do to improve the structure that will trigger having to bring up the house into compliance? These are all things that you need to know, and you need to be able to advise your client as to what they can do. And coastal engineering, we work with all the clients to advise them as to what they can do to the structure before they hit the thresholds, what they can do to get through permitting, and the like, just to make the whole process a lot smoother. So with that, I'm just going to open it up to any questions you may have, rather than just go on about what you should get for flood zone information, not knowing what your background is. So if there are any questions about flood zones, permitting, feel free to ask. Yes?
What about velocity zones? Do you deal with that as well? Because that's a new term, right? Velocity, it's all about the wind.
There's two different things. There's the wind zone, the wind velocity, and then there's the wave velocity.
Right.
And
So that's for the boat velocity.
they are both, yeah, there's wind velocity, which impacts your windows.
Right.
Peter will get into that.
It blows the house down.
Yeah, it blows the house down, but also there's the velocity zone that deals with waves.
Okay.
Okay, so basically, the first thing you need to find out is whether or not you're in a flood zone. Then there's three different parts of the flood zone. There's a velocity zone where the wave heights, like in Situate, are above 3 feet, where you see them hitting the walls. Then there's the still water flood zones, which are behind that. And there's different designs that you can do in different zones. And understanding what you can do in each zone is very, very important, and to convey that to your clients as well. The wind zones, the building code is coming out this year with the 9th edition. Right now we're on the 8th edition. And it was supposed to come out in July. I spoke with Tom Perry over at the town of Barnstable. He's on the Board of Building Standards. And that should be coming out this year, but it looks like it's not going to come out in July. I just spoke with him yesterday, Peter. What that's going to do is it's going to change the design standards for work within the flood zone. It's going to increase the intensity of the standards. It's going to make houses that are in what they call A zones, coastal A zones, have to design them to velocity zone standards, which means up on piles. I'm sure you've all seen houses that are up on piles. They're not very attractive, but that's coming down the road, and they're pushing these flood zones further inland, and these design standards are going to be moving further inland to put things up on piles. Question?
Okay, so putting things up on piles might mean that you're into the case that there's much more going on now where whole houses are just being straight up lifted 3 or 4 courses of cinder block. Is that engineering required, or can you just hire a guy to do that?
No, you need to have an architect or engineer design that for the zone that you're in. And if you're in a velocity zone, again, the worst zone you can be in, you have to put it up on piles, and you have to have 2 feet of freeboard between where the flood elevation is and the underside of your structure. So there's a lot that goes into it with the design aspect of the different zones. So you really need to know the code.
Have all towns relaxed the height restrictions on those zones?
Some of them have. Dennis has incorporated their height restriction is from ground level or from the base flood elevation, so you can move up. Chatham has gone the other way. Chatham has put more restrictions on what you can do in the flood zones, and they've also pushed, now they've just adopted, the Conservancy District has moved from the 98 maps to the 2014 maps, which has pushed probably 30 to 40 homes into this Conservancy District, and they're limited to 20-foot height. So different towns are dealing with it in different ways, so it's very important to understand what each of the bylaws are in each of the towns, and not just the building code.
And are you working as much with Loma X and Loma F as you are with elevation?
We are. We're working with the loan maps that he's talking about. It's a letter of map. It's actually a letter of map revision fill, where you can fill around the house to elevate the grade above the flood zone and actually get the structure outside of the flood zone and eliminate the requirement for flood insurance, and also reduce your risk for damage.